everybody, and welcome back to the famous Cinci podcast. I'm your host, Cinci. Long time no see. And I've got two special guests today. We got KugelBlitZ.
Wait, long time no see is actually kind of
Stop talking
interesting.
during my
It has
segment.
two-
He introduced me.
C's
Oh
in
my
his
god, I
name.
actually fucking hate you.
And
No,
Synactive.
wait, no, I
You can
didn't.
hear.
I didn't get to speak. I didn't get to speak.
Yes,
Google,
Let
you
me say something.
complained when you should have talked. You lost
No,
your
no,
opportunity.
listen.
Nope.
he always said that I was cool enough.
Anyway,
He always calls me.
Oh
the
my gosh,
bestest
Synactive,
of the
please.
frat.
I'm getting a headache. I beg you.
What? You're the one who's high.
Yeah, and somehow you're more annoying. It's impressive.
wait, Cinci is high?
I'm sorry,
Uh-huh.
Synactive.
The
I'm being
only
mean.
reason why he let you on the podcast, KugelBlitZ.
Oh,
That's
okay.
true.
Anyway,
All right, but the gimmick of this episode is it was planned for a while, but I have to
Role
make
reversal.
questions for Kugel and Synactive, and so we'll just go through it and chill while I'm the host.
and
Now,
also really
unfortunately,
high. And also
These
really
questions
high.
were not written sober, so and I also kind of, even if I knew it was a bad question, just kind of kept it in there. So there might be some garbage every now and then. I tried to move one over to the final question, but we decided we're not going to do a final question.
Cinci
in
ate
this
10
episode.
kilograms of edibles.
Yeah, that totally that much. All right.
Yeah, it was not that much. It's actually a little bit more.
But anyways, as every episode must start with, do you think Kugel will verify Death Corridor?
No.
Yes, obviously. What kind of a question is that?
Corridor.
That's like asking me, do you think 2 + 2 = 4? Obviously.
Okay. So KugelBlitZ, let me give everyone my honest opinion. Is it the current version or the 60 hertz version that's going to be apparently verified afterwards? Is it Death Corridor Easy or Death
Well,
Corridor?
Death Corridor Easy is not Death Corridor. They're separate
okay.
levels.
Okay.
So
And-
we have to specify that.
Yeah, well, obviously the 60 hertz one.
I
Yeah.
think it is possible that Kugel beats it, but honestly, probably not. Because he's been
What?
spending so.
Kugel, okay, let me give my real answer. You know what? Because I honestly am always on the anti-Kugel team.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. I don't doubt your skill. I actually think you could beat it. You just don't spend enough time to beat it. And you aren't
Yeah, that's
consistent
what I
with
think,
spending
too.
your time. What you do is you take long breaks and then grind it out for like a few weeks and then take another long break, losing that consistency. And then you kind of just buff it randomly in between. Like, it's just...
Yeah, I know what you...
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just, like, have a lot of confidence that I can do... Like, I will do it. Like, I know what I'm doing right now isn't the ideal way to verify it, but... It's like, it's not like I'm planning on just keeping this pattern going.
Like, here's the thing, like, it's just kind of, you gotta, like, play it at least somewhat in between, you know?
Yeah, no, that's what I'm doing right now. Like, even Death Corridor Easy,
Right.
part of it is also to, like, help. Like, even if I end up beating an easier version of the level, I feel like the act of just beating a version of Death Corridor, and it would still be the hardest version verified by far, right?
Yeah.
I think that would help a lot because, first of all, it would help me sort of understand the type of consistency I would need for the level, and like, I feel like it would also remove some mental barriers because, like, I actually, got through the full level, even if it's an easier version. I don't know. I feel like beating that version is still going to indirectly help me with the 60 FPS one.
Please beat DC Easy, Kugel. Please.
I want like, I'm probably actually gonna start playing it tomorrow because the past week I've been like stupidly busy, but I think tomorrow I'll have time to play it. But Synactive, you should annoy the hell out of me to play it tomorrow.
I will then.
Okay,
If you're
good.
asking.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
asking. But yeah.
So what happened,
Anyway.
like, regarding, like, the Ice Cave verification? Because I did see that.
Oh yeah, okay. Damn, and now I'm the one being interviewed. I just realized this now because I'm so used to the first question being Death Corridor, like regardless. I didn't realize that. Yeah. No. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, basically, okay. There's a lot that happened there, and part of it I can't even disclose, which is annoying because it involves a person who is like who has influence in the community, I'll say, and they just don't like me for some reason. I've never done anything wrong to them. In fact, we used to kind of be friends back in 2018, and then we just stopped talking. But now all of a sudden they just don't like me, and just constantly try to screw over with my shit for some reason. And they ended up like causing a series of events where like the chaotic Nico, if anyone knows who that is, ended up talking to chaotic Jumper, like bringing him back from the dead. And being like, because at this point he like just does not give a shit about GD. He just left the community, but he still had a Discord. So he contacted him on Discord and started telling him, "Oh, you know, everyone wants to see Death Quarter out, but Kugel is stalling." Which I mean, fair enough, but also that's a really dick move to do that anyway. Because
nobody cares about DC. That's not even true.
Yeah, well, yeah, and then it's like basically trying to convince Chaotic to remove verification perms, and it almost did, but Ice Cave managed to convince him with this weird compromise of like, okay, well, I know you want a version of DC out, so how about, you know, like, because I feel sorry for Kugel and so did Chaotic and, you know, Pity or whatever, right? But basically that I would still keep my version, it would still be official, but there would now be a second official version that's being verified by Ice Cave.
Ice Cave's the homie.
And that, you know, and, you know,
Ice Cave's been doing a lot to help.
Honestly, he's been really cool about it. Like even with his version, like whenever he uploads progress or posts about it on Twitter, he always like mentions Kugel's is still official, and even on posts about me that kind of really cool. or like posts about Death Corridor that like kind of gloss over me and talk about him, he mentions again like so he's actually being really cool about it. But
I mean, he kind of has to, because like I'm not saying he has to. Obviously, he doesn't have to. But like it's one of those things where it's really nice to do, because his following is much bigger than yours. So what could happen is if he had like Death Corridor, if he doesn't keep mentioning your name, it could get overshadowed.
Yeah, there's that, and also the fact that because of the whole thing I was talking about, Chaotic just had this weird like image in his mind that like everyone was mad at me and wanted me to drop the level, right? Like, I mean, there are people who are like frustrated that maybe I'm not playing it, but I think the general community does not want me to drop the level. Like, they want to see me beat it. I would assume so, at least. But like,
I would agree.
That same trend, like, if it wasn't for Ice Cave, the people actually the person who did that initially to screw me over was one of the people who offered to verify the level, even like the new official one. So like if it wasn't for Ice Cave, I probably would have been like royally screwed. Like it probably would have been worse than the Noctifly shit. So I'm glad that happened. But yeah, I mean that's at least all I can really say about it, because a lot of stuff was like leaked to me and I can't really disclose it. And yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Also, I would like to officially on the podcast congratulate you on beating Artificial Ascent.
Oh yeah, I beat that on 6. Yeah, I don't know if actually did we talk about it on the last episode or was it the one before that?
I wasn't there, so this is me talking about it.
I remember there was like an episode where Synactive was like, "You haven't beaten it, Artificial Ascent on 60," and then like on the same day I beat it.
Yeah.
Like after we recorded,
I was really happy for you.
After we recorded the podcast, I started playing it and I just beat it. But I don't know if it was the last episode or the one before that I mentioned. But yeah, so that was cool. And I also verified a ball challenge called Uber Cooling Unit, which I was happy with because it was like
it like saved the world.
No, like I was happy with it in terms of like a creation standpoint. Like it was the first, I guess, fully decorated level that I've made, even though it's a challenge. But it's the first, and I was actually really happy with how it turned out. I don't think it was list worthy, but there are people who are saying it's like top 20 or something stupid like that. There's even people saying it's harder than 3 seconds in hell, which would, or sorry, 3SH in hell, which would mean it would be top 10, which I don't agree with at all. But yeah, so there's that.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, I'm gonna ask some questions for Synactive too, so that he gets more involved. When are you gonna start building again?
Building levels?
Yes. You stop. Please build.
No, he made decent Starpunk recently.
Okay. I mean like real levels, not whatever that is.
What do you mean? Oh fuck! I dropped my.
So like, what kind of levels? Like, I do a lot of like building random trash, but not like full levels ananymore. Really.
When you're gonna build a full level, I miss the Synactive full levels. Like, okay, please don't make another.
Actually.
Yeah, please don't make another. What you call it? The one level from you, I just don't like at all.
Fisher?
No.
Nightshade?
Yeah, Nightshade. There we go.
That's probably what it would look more like.
Like I
you
think
want a 1.9 level?
I mean, your 1.9 level is cool, and also like the 2.1 or the 2.1 level that you were working on and stopped. I wanted to see that finished. I was really hoping you finish that. I don't know, like Kugel, you've done some building. When's the last time you've actually built?
I literally just said Uber cooling unit.
Oh, that's a level?
What else would it even be? Yes, well, it's a challenge, but it's still a level, like, in the game. Like, it's...
Did you
it's still
decorate it?
Yes, I said... Okay, I think
Just
you're, like, getting more high or something, because I said all of that just now. I said it's a solo... No, it's fine, but, like, yeah, it's a solo level. Yeah, I made the gameplay, I made the deco, all, like, the effects, everything on my own, and I verified it, so yeah.
Okay, cool.
Although, actually, technically... There is something that I made, and it's not like a secret thing, but like a part in Instinct, which actually is probably maybe my best looking thing. Like well, I don't know. I still like Uber cooling unit more, like conceptually and like how I executed it, but I think in terms of like quality or like that kind of stuff, or like designs, that part is probably my favorite thing that I've made so far.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
But yeah.
The last thing I actually spent time on building was actually a different level that doesn't have anything to do with the one that I was doing before. But I've had a lot of issues related to my PC, so I'm getting. So.
Yeah, Synactive recently learned how to build his first PC. Very impressively. My friend had some extra parts that he wasn't using anymore, so he shipped them to Synactive.
In a cardboard box.
In a cardboard box with no protection. They were just kind of sliding around in there. One of the RAM sticks were also just kind of laid there too.
Yeah, they were loose in there. They just kind of fly around whenever they want to.
Anyway, the CPU was nice and safe in the motherboard.
Yeah, the CPU worked fine. It's just the motherboard was like on the fritz constantly.
Yeah, both RAM sticks were fried, and so was the motherboard.
I think on the fritz is the best way to describe the motherboard.
It wasn't doing too good. It was not really remembering how to turn off.
No, yeah. Like, I would try to turn off the computer, and then it would say, "Actually, no," and it would turn itself back on.
It was on a permanent reset switch. It had to turn on again.
It wouldn't even go into the BIOS. Like, there was nothing actually functional going on. It just kept turning itself back on. Like, whatever it was doing, it really wanted to do.
My friend, when I was making fun of him for, was like, "Oh, are you mad at me?" I'm like, "No, you gave parts for free. I think it's hilarious." We went through all this effort and all this work for you to send parts in a cardboard box unprotected and for them to break in transit. Alright, Kugel, I gotta get through my bad questions that I just have to get through that aren't funny at all. What is your least favorite leash?
What?
I gotta get through them. Like a dog leash. Which is your least favorite kind? Like the long kinds? I don't know, dude. I don't know what this question means, to be honest with you.
Oh, can I give you my answer?
Yeah, go ahead and give me your answer.
Alright, so we have this leash that's like really short.
I don't even have a dog, so I don't know why you're asking me that.
It kind of bothers me because I feel like the dog would probably just like would really prefer some freedom and stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I was thinking. Like,
why didn't you direct it towards Synactive, who actually has a dog?
He's cool enough to have a dog.
Yeah, I mean, you're not cool as me. That's why.
Okay, but when you made that question, why did you decide? Let me ask it to the person who doesn't have a dog.
So, when I wrote these questions, right, and then I press enter, once I pressed enter, that was me like cementing it. It is now stuck, and unfortunately, I pressed enter before I realized how bad of a question that was. So it's stuck here, and I have to use it.
Okay.
I had until I pressed enter to rethink my decisions, and sometimes I just didn't rethink properly.
So what's
Alright.
your least favorite kind of leash, Google?
Okay, if you were
Probably
a dog,
the ones that are on fire because they burn my hand.
Dude, so true.
that would suck. Yes.
That is a Synactive tier answer, but yeah.
So what are you actually doing like right now? Because you said you're so busy. Like, what are you actually doing, Google?
What? You didn't say I was busy. What the hell are you talking?
Yeah, you did. You said you haven't been playing Death Core
Oh!
because you've been mega busy.
Oh, the
And
way
so
you
lying?
the way you worded it made it seem like right now in this
He's
moment.
like in the process of doing something really
Yeah,
important.
you worded it the worst way possible.
Oh, no shit.
You made it seem like you said right now, like as if like this moment I was
Okay.
Okay, okay,
I
okay,
meant,
okay.
like right now and like in general.
Okay, yeah. Busy, a mixture of like university and moving houses and getting a car and like a million other shit. So, yeah, it's not like I don't have time to do anything.
What are you majoring in?
Mathematics and minoring in statistics and computer science.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That definitely makes sense. I could not do mathematics. Holy shit, I'd kill myself so fast. If I had to sit there and calculate numbers and then put them into a graph, I'd hate that.
Do you think smart guy would like that?
Smart guy would
Yeah.
love that. Smart guy would be so
love it
down.
according to his calculation.
According to my calculation.
He has like the shades of the like anime glasses. And he's always pressing up against them.
Yeah,
Like
he does like the finger push up your glasses thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh my god. I think
He's got
high Cinci and Synactive is like a really bad combination.
Oh, this is a terrible combination because I
Yeah.
stoop down to his
Like,
level.
yeah, that's what I mean. Like it feels like I'm in a call with two Synactives now. Because normally you're like above his brain dead humor, but now
I love
you're
how
like
it takes
engaging
this
in it.
to get to Synactive level.
Now you're just part of it. Like you're in his wavelength now.
That's all it
What,
takes.
what's that? What's that one anime meme?
Which anime mean?
You
I
don't
just-
know about the like
I just got a comment on my video that like I swear Synactive wrote on an alt. Look what I sent in the chat.
Let me see this.
That ooh wah 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 hit hard.
By the
I
way,
can't-
why do you
I
heart
can't-
comments that you don't like?
I don't.
Wait,
Yeah,
did
he
Synactive
literally
tell you about
Yes.
that?
He
I
doesn't even
looked at
read
your
them
channel
then
and I saw the
reply to
comments.
them.
I'm like, why are you liking some of these?
No, literally, his taste
No,
in content
I just
is like,
that's just like
hi. What refresh rate is this? And
That's
then he just
just-
hearts it.
okay. That's just look. Even if
It
it's like
doesn't say
oh my
Wait,
god,
what are you saying,
shut up.
Sam?
Let
What are
me
you saying-
let
what are you
me.
Google? What are you saying, Google?
Yeah, no, basically, that's just like I don't know. I don't want to say tradition because that's a weird word to use for, but it's just the way I do things. I just heart every comment, like
But
even
the
like
ones that are questions, or when you heart the questions
even-
and not
even-
answer it, that's so mean because you're basically
Even-
saying I saw it, but I
Okay,
didn't
no,
care.
no. I'll get into that in a second, right? But like, I even heart like negative comments and shit, but and, like comments that are dumb or like insulting. But with the questions, I usually answer the questions after
I
hearting
haven't
them.
seen that.
See, the problem is, and the example Synactive uses is the guy who has asked me the same question 500 times, and I keep answering it to him, and he comments on every video 10 times and DMs me 100 times every day the same questions, and I always answer them, and I'm sick of answering them, so I just don't answer it.
Put them
but
in
I
a
still,
notepad and copy and paste it each time you ask.
yeah, no, but I still heart his comment, right? So Synactive sees
But
it,
why?
and then he like flips
You can
out
just
because I hearted
ignore
his comment.
the comment.
Yeah, I did ignore the comment by not
But you
replying. to
hearted it.
But, and I heard every comment. It would actually, if
You're
anything,
So
insane.
Google hearts,
anything-
Google hearts are
If
worthless
anything-
because everyone gets them.
no, yeah. Well, shut up. If anything,
Yeah, this-
anything, it would be weird if I didn't heart it, because it's like out of all the comments that in that area, the one that wasn't hearted was that one. So actually, it would make it seem like
Do you
I
like the
specifically-
comment?
I specifically saw that one, and I decided not to heart it.
That's actually
Out of-
hilarious. But
Yeah, no, but
Yeah,
but
that's fine.
okay. That's not ignoring it because it's gonna make it
Cinci-
obvious that I saw the comment and I just
But
decided
did you
not to
like
heart
the
that one
comment?
specifically. No,
you-
I
Then
didn't.
why
I
are you
didn't.
liking it?
No, I didn't. I didn't like it. I didn't like any of them.
Why are
Hearting-
you-
Wow,
Heart
wow,
of
that is
fire.
rude to all the
No,
commenters. You didn't like any of them?
No, hearting a comment and liking a comment are not the same thing. I'm not like clicking the thumbs up button. I'm clicking the heart button. If there's a comment I like, I will click thumbs up. If there's a comment on my video, I will press the love button, the heart button, whatever it's called, right?
Hey,
Even
Cinci.
even bot comments, I heart them. It's just like a thing I do. Okay.
You're weird.
Hey,
Synactive,
Cinci, I
what's up?
sent you the worst comment, the worst meme ever.
Yeah, I never have seen that.
You've never seen that?
No.
It's so good, though. Don't you love that?
What the fuck is... Wow.
Is that your favorite meme?
That's pretty garbage.
There was like this entire thing that was like people were making fun of anime memes, and that was one of the main ones that people were sending and being like, "What on earth is that?" Like people actually think this is funny.
Alright, Synactive, I've actually only asked you one question of your like 8. So, how cool is the Bone Zone?
The Bone Zone?
Yeah, how
The
cool
Bone
is...
Zone's pretty cool.
Oh
He
my
made
God.
he
can't.
made Blueberry
I'm
Black.
sorry, Google.
And that was pretty nice of him. And
I think I'm just gonna zone out whenever you.
I think he's pretty cool.
Yeah, honestly, a lot of Synactive questions can probably be
I like
zoned
when he
out,
comments
but-
on my videos.
Honestly, the reason why I brought up the Bone Zone is because they commented on my video, and I always heart
Yeah,
them.
Oh wait, he comments on my videos too.
I always heart the Bone Zone
Idiot.
comments, all because he made a sequel to Synactive's 1.9 level for 0 reason. And so I just heart his comments now. I mean, it was a fun level too. I actually enjoyed the level.
Yeah,
That's
it was
part of
pretty good. It's pretty good. I
Like,
like that level.
If the level
I would have
was
rather that
terrible,
one been
maybe
rated
not, but
over
it was pretty fun.
like Tomato Pass.
What happened to Han's new level, by the way? I don't know his name fully, but the like creator that made the impossible.
Hans?
Son.
You just called him Hans.
No,
That's
not Heinz, not Heinz. I had
You said Hans. You said Hans.
I said-
Me with HONS's new level.
Like not even close.
Yeah,
You
sorry.
rearranged all the letters in the.
I kind of forgot what they did, and then I thought of Stormfly and like the Hell series, and I was like, oh wait, that's Son. I just lost the connector.
Hans. How did you manage to like rearrange every letter into the wrong spot?
I don't know. I'm gonna be real.
Anyway, what are you asking about deviation?
Yeah, deviation. I have
Oh,
not
yeah.
seen anything about it recently.
Right, yeah, since my preview. There were like a couple more parts that got finished. But aside from that, like the rest of the creators kind of just like gave up. There was a period of time where I would just keep asking them and I wouldn't really get any more updates, and I think it sort of died with the creators that were there. So my idea was, okay, I'll find new creators, but turns out that I'm not like mind capped, so I have 0 connections. So finding good creators was literally impossible.
I see.
And yeah, I haven't I mean, I still need like half the part, half of the level is done, I'll say. So there's still like half the parts left. But finding that many, even finding the creators I did was hard enough, right? And then like a bunch of them dropped it. One guy, or actually 2 people lost their data. One guy just lost his data and he gave up. One guy lost his data. After he did it, he was like, okay, you know what, I'll remake it. I said, okay, this time remember to back it up. Remember, you do whatever, just like save your files, right?
Yeah.
I told him that. He made more progress than he did the first time, and then he lost his data again. And when I asked him, like, did you back it up? He's like, oh, I forgot. And he just left. Just ridiculously bad luck when it came to hosting it. The fact that, like, I'm not well known, and then, like, everyone I asked is, like, either busy or, like, not interested or, so...
Yeah. I mean,
was
hosting's
just-
a lot of work. Hosting actually is a ton of work.
It's like this level made me realize, like, okay, I hosted Death Corridor and even Silentium Gradas, but those were not like levels that I tried to make good, right? Like hosting like a genuinely good level, like Deviation, I'm trying to make it a good level. It is fucking hard. Like I've made parts in levels, and I used to think that hosting was easier than making parts. Honestly, like hosting is harder than making like multiple parts in a collab. Like it's if you're like good at it and you're trying to make it a good level.
That makes
So
sense.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's kind of interesting when a creator comes back with their style being from an era that's just so different, and they try to make a modern level. It's kind of cool. You can't get an authentic experience like that very often. That is
Yeah.
super rare.
I mean, the closest thing to that is kind of Majako, but Majako is like not even anywhere near that level, right? Like Majako still existed. It was like, 2. Early 2.0, 1.9, and
Yeah.
came back recent. Like Sohn was like fucking 1.2 and shit is when he kind of started and all that.
Yeah.
So, and then like he, I think, quit like 1.5 or 1.6. So it was like ancient, and he comes back 2.1 and makes a level, not knowing anything about the editor or anything about the new like orbs or game modes or anything. Like he explored the new mechanics as he made the level. I mean, you can even tell with like the way it was made, and I mean the raw layout is very unpolished and unrefined, and it looks very messy and all that. But it has something to it that like
I had to
game.
spend like a week fixing it.
Yeah. It was very buggy as well, but it has something that like because
Just to
of
make
that, like
yeah,
that's a consequence of it. But it's like because like everything he made is sort of pure, and it's not like made like as an inspiration from something or like trying to stick to conventions. Like even levels that feel like they're trying to oppose, you know, generic gameplay standards, they're still in a way like related to them, because it's like, okay, well, I'm trying to make something that's not like this, but you still had that in mind when you made it. So it's still like not abstract in that sense. But like with Sohn, he doesn't know anything about, again, standards or anything. It's like it feels like something you would find in the recent tab if it was made by a competent creator who actually like thought of some interesting ideas and like gameplay concepts, like a non brain dead version of the recent tab. And also it's like a full level. I feel like that's the best way to explain it.
Yeah, like you won't. It just it's so rare for a creator from that era to disappear during that era, and then come back nowadays.
So,
one
Son,
point
by the way, Son
nine.
like didn't even like come back on his own.
They found him on Naver and then sent him
Yeah.
an email.
Yeah, and they ended up like going into contact with him, and he ended up having some kind of interest, and he came back.
That's pretty cool, honestly.
Yeah, and it wasn't his goal to make a level; it just became something that he wanted to do.
Yeah.
Now, something that I should mention, that I was kind of trying to say, is that it feels like a lot of people who try to make their levels unconventional end up following the norm for unconventional levels, and they
follow the
all
crazy
follow
style.
some form of like weird, like crazy man 50
I've this is, by the way,
and
when
it
I was doing,
creates a new generic. It
I
creates a
know,
generic
I know.
unique.
I actually had this exact thought process while I was doing the demon rating. Like, those levels were their own like genre of like the levels that try to be like unique and quirky, but they all do the exact same things. And it's
Yeah,
like
exactly.
there's already a
They don't
million levels
feel
that
any
do this.
different from each other either.
Like, oh wow, or double click orbs, or
Yeah,
this,
exactly.
or like certain structures that you just see like a million times in the levels that like the
One of my
original.
least favorite levels in terms of like one of my least favorite recently made extreme demons, despite me being somebody who really likes unique levels a lot, is Shardscapes. I think that level is utter garbage
Oh yeah,
because they don't
that
because
level
it's not
sucks.
unique.
Well,
It's
no,
not
that
unique.
level is the most repetitive level
Yeah, it's
ever.
like so copy paste.
No, it's like
They use
literally.
two backgrounds, one of which is stolen.
Yes. The whole level is two backgrounds, no block design, one of which is stolen from a Serpunge level, and the entire level is just robot corner jumps and orb double clicks. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I've seen
no
it.
uniqueness to it
it's just
whatsoever.
so stupid. And I've seen people say stuff like, "Oh lol, the 360 FPS players are crying because it's not a ship level." When I mean, like, me and Synactive are
They're
literally
crying because it
Well,
sucks.
yeah, no, like me and Synactive are literally 60 hertz players that do not like those kinds of levels, and coming from us, we think that it sucks,
We
right?
just
Like,
think the level's easy. Also, we just think
oh yeah, the level is free, but
like that's the only difference. We
just
just also think it's
just
easy.
like Congregation, holy shit, that level is overrated. But yeah,
It's
but
kind of
But
funny
look,
because you two are
I
like
actually
60 hertz elitists in a way, to where you just have like the community. What they think 60 hertz is isn't what you think 60 hertz is. Like there's no connection, but you're probably the only ones that actually play on it.
yeah. Also, Hyperbola just randomly joined out of nowhere.
It's a hyperbola.
Hello.
Synactive. Speaking of like levels that are
Can't hear a
unconventional,
thing that you just said.
I will say Feral Frenzy meets that. Feral Frenzy, I have never played any other level like it. Whether good or bad,
Yeah.
I've never
Pretty
played a level like it.
that
Isn't
is pretty
Feral-
unconventional. Keep in
Isn't-
mind, a lot of that was work done by Mr.
Yeah,
PPS, who never made conventional levels.
That's
I mean,
true.
wasn't it meant to be based off like Daddy Pro or something?
A little bit.
I mean, there's no reminiscent of that now anymore. It
little
became
bit.
its own thing.
No,
Synactive
it's
Synactive
reminiscent
did
of a mentality that Daddy Pro had making levels.
I guess that's true. I guess that's
Synactive did to Feral Frenzy what I did to Death Corridor, but before I did it to Death Corridor.
Synactive did it to Feral Frenzy because I did it to Innards.
No, you didn't. No, like you didn't make Innards a 60 FPS level.
Oh no no! I meant just buffing.
No, not just buffing.
He's
Like,
talking about the types of buffs that I did.
yes, like he made it just like a weirdly balanced 60 FPS level with frame perfects everywhere.
Is it actually balancing?
No,
A little bit.
Like
The hardest parts are definitely the two waves.
Yeah, the Waluigi and the whatever the fuck that wave is. The wave.
The super wave.
The super wave, yeah. I've yet to do the super wave. I've never done it.
It's pretty hard.
When are you bringing it back?
Maybe eventually, now that I have an actual computer to play on. I definitely would like to play it again.
All right.
I think that it's a fun level for me.
Next question for both of you: what got you into GD, and what is one of your favorite moments while playing the game?
me or Synactive?
Both.
Both.
I guess I'll
Can I answer
first.
Google's questions?
No. Anyway, I'll answer first. I don't know if I've mentioned it in the podcast. I thought I did, but maybe not. The thing that got me into GD was actually my little brother, in a weird way. So, like, basically, GD Lite was a trend in my school, but, you know, like, in our grade, pretty much everyone got the game, and no one was good at it, and, like, I like got to Polargeist, and like I was one of the best players in the school, and there are people who like thought Jumper was humanly impossible. Like I'm not saying that as a joke. Like there was one guy that was like losing his shit because he found a video of someone beating Jumper. But yeah, eventually it died out. I forgot about the game. Nobody in the entire like class ever got the full version. So yeah, and neither did I, right? So I just forgot about the game. Then eventually it trickled down, like, because the way trends work is they like trickle down, and my brother ended up like getting it, like getting the trend, and he actually got the full version, and we like shared an iPad at the time, so I played it on the iPad, and that's kind of when I started getting hooked into the game. The iPad broke. I forgot about the game. Like this was like around 1.8 when I started playing.
Holy shit! It's an on and off relationship.
Yeah, and the iPad broke like early 1.9. Like I remember blast processing had just come out, and yeah, I didn't even beat it because it broke before then. By the time I got back, I had gotten the Steam version that was like 2.0, like early mid 2.0, like you know, I think like maybe I don't remember if it was like early 2016 or late 2015. I forgot the dates at that point, but that's when I like fully got into GD, and yeah.
Cool. So, Actor, what about you?
Okay. So I've got the most inactive GD origin story of all time. So I had an IRL friend that I used to play mobile games with all the time, and this person showed me Geometry Dash because we showed each other games a lot, and now here's what ended up happening. So they showed me Geometry Dash. And at first, I saw the game, and I was like, "Wow, this game is so easy." So I tried to beat the final level, which was Electro Man Adventures.
That's not very hard.
I was like, "Dude, this game is so easy," and I couldn't beat it. So then I was like, "Fine, whatever." And I knew that I'd really like the game eventually. So I just decided to download the full version immediately. And
That's
then
what I
I
did.
went and tried to make the hardest level ever. I tried to make the
I
hardest
remember that level.
ever.
That level sucks.
It was Doomsday by Synactive, and it's really good. If you play it, you'll love it.
I actually bought the game too immediately, but I feel like we did it for very different reasons.
Why did you?
Yeah.
do it?
I didn't like ads. They were annoying.
That's why you bought GD.
Yeah.
Damn, I guess if you liked ads, then innards would never have existed.
Oh, how
Or
blessed
the
the world
innards
would
that
have
we
been.
know, because Kaido still probably could have made it. And it would have released as like a 7-star.
It's hilarious because the story of innards actually, I'm really involved with that level. I'm actually super involved with the creation of innards. It would be a totally different thing.
It would probably not be innards. It would be a different level made by Kaido, and
Yeah.
it would not be called innards, and it would not.
Because like, Paradoxy was partly like I was involved a bit with Paradoxy and helping Kaido with the duel, and I was gonna originally verify it, but then he just kind of did it, so I was like, oh, GG's. And then like I kind of just became Kaido's project verifier, so, and also my Olophones. I basically just became their verifiers, and so I would verify a level for my Olophone, then a level for Kaido, and then another level for Kaido. That's just kind of how it was. And innards was being created, and at first it just looked like a 7-star, but it was bait. He was just trying to bait because the rest of the song was never meant to be a 7-star. It was meant to be a hard demon. He was just baiting, calling it a 7-star, because that's what he did at first, because he never listened to the rest of the song. So he listened to the rest of the song and realized his mistake, and was just like, well, I guess it's hard demon now. And so he asked me if I would verify, and I was like, yeah. So that's what happened. Because if you look at that level, it's like, ooh, 7-star, and then later you just see straight flies. So he clearly found out later what happened. It's kind of it is the most Kaido thing to listen to just part of the song and not really listen to the rest until you like get there.
Okay, next question.
Why red and black? Go back to the blue and red icon.
Okay,
I
is pretty-
actually agree with this one.
that's a little bit based, but let me shoot you down and
Honestly, I
say,
almost
what
wish we
the
could get
heck
through
is
this and
wrong with you?
Speed run them.
Cinci, the blue and red, it doesn't match in the slightest. Why would I ever use the blue and red? The blue and red is
Okay,
really
but- okay.
ugly
Low
as the color scheme.
Okay, real talk. Team Aqua from Pokemon like Sapphire and Emerald kind of pulled it off.
Yeah, I mean, there's a
Kyogre-
reason
Kyogre
why when I
pulls it off,
went
too.
to, like, okay. In all honesty, there's a reason why I use the dark blue and the dark red when I use that color scheme anytime recently, because they made more blues and reds, so I just use a blue and red that looks a little bit better, because it is possible to make work, honestly.
How you'd have to do it is you'd have to have the icon, like you need to have an icon that primarily uses one color, like primarily uses blue,
And then like uses
and then-
highlights of the other color.
and then
Yeah,
highlights with red. That's how you'd have to do it.
my icons just can't do that. But I mean, you could maybe have an icon set that looks decent with blue and red if you did it a certain way.
I don't think it
I
would
think
ever
blue
look
would be
great.
main.
I don't think it would ever look great, but I think
Yeah.
you can maybe get by. I don't know. I kind
So
of want to
since
see
you
if
go
someone
back-
can make
I
it. I kind of want to see if someone can make an icon set with blue and red look good.
I have a counter question.
Okay.
Whatever happened to blue and green, Cinci? You should go back to blue and green.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm pretty sure like part of that was like, so Cyrus from Metroid Prime Hunters has that color scheme, and I think that might have accidentally just took inspiration from that, and I made my icons, and then I just kept them that way. And then eventually I kept streaming, and someone said during the innards, because I was dying on the straight fly a lot in 60 hertz, but they basically said to remove the glow because it's easier to see where you fly. So I did that, but innards is a dark level, and so is my dark blue, so I couldn't really see. So I swapped the colors, and it was horrendous to look at, but I could at least see.
Wait,
And
really?
Yeah, and that's why I kept the green and blue no glow, just because I could see, and I got too used to it, so I couldn't stop.
You weirdo.
Yeah, and so I still use no glow. I try to find color set that I can use without glow and looks good. I cannot play with glow. I remember one time on the forums when I would check it once in a great while. I actually checked it, and one time someone says, "Who do you think has the worst GD icons?" And it was right after C's video, and then they just put in the top spot, "I think it's Cinci." I was like, I really can't blame you. I think my icons might be the worst.
Dude, I don't know how long I've been zoned out for.
That's
I'm not
your
even
fault.
I'm not even the one who's high, and like.
Fine.
So-
You want to get back into it here. How does it feel to be the only person in history to lose a bet 15 times in a row to me? Even
Okay,
with a
you know
game
what,
that
bro?
has
You can-
RNG,
okay, you know what?
even
You
LJ at
you
least
know
won
what?
one during his
You know
massive losing
what?
streak.
You can go back to the questions with Synactive.
You sound tired.
Kugel has been
Yes,
mentally
I am. I'm like literally on the verge of passing out. But okay, to answer your question, the past 6 games, I'm beating you like 4-2, and the 2 that you
Synactive,
won me, you got like
Yeah.
so lucky.
you were there for most of those. Is that confirmed? Because I don't think it is
Yes.
at all.
It is.
I don't know
What?
where you won 6 or where you've won 6 games. Sorry, where have you won 6
Oh.
games?
Are you like
It was a 15-0.
Are you high or something? I said out of the past 6 games, I won 4, and you won 2.
You've only won 2. Okay. You're
There's the
talking about
ones when
3
you-
sets. You're talking about 3 sets, right? Or 6 sets.
Well, no, I'm not talking about like I'm just talking about the past 6 games we've played together.
Okay.
So recency matters more, and I win. Anyway,
I am down to play you again. I gotta change that 6 set because I think 2 of those sets were when I was drunk. So if you're counting those wins, that's really sad.
well, I think some of them were while you were drunk, but I don't think.
No. There was. I think you won 1 when I was not, but I don't know if it was a bet.
Yeah.
I don't think it was a bet though.
It was not a.
I don't know why, but it's just shocking to me because it had RNG and even LJ managed to score like I don't think I've ever won 15 in a row against LJ. You're still my record.
I don't even remember like what happened in those 15 games,
I don't
but I
either.
think I don't remember how I lost 15 games.
You just
but
got nervous.
I think yeah, that's probably why, because it was also a bet and we kept like doubling or nothing it.
I have
And-
yeah.
And I ended up having to like use some dumb profile image for like 2 months or something.
Like C1997 kissing
No.
or something.
No,
yeah,
it
no,
was like
it was like
I'm gay for Synactive.
no. I had to
Yeah, it
change.
said
I had
that,
to
but it
change my
was like-
username to I'm gay for Synactive.
Wasn't it like
and-
2 weeks?
I know, no, like I think initially it was like just like a few day or like a day, and then it became 2 days, and then like became week. I think like I don't remember how long it ended up becoming, but it was like ridiculous because like we'd play 3 and then I'd lose, and we'd like double or nothing.
It was like so I remember you tried to say I got bad RNG. You tried to say it like one time. I was like, dude, it's 15 games. You can't say you got bad RNG 15 times in a row.
Well, some of them I
some of them,
probably
yes,
did.
and some of them I had bad RNG and you still managed to lose.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. Like
I think
my
that- I
mind
think after
just
the-
erased those games
I
from
think
my.
after the 6-0, it was a lost cause. I think 3-0, you're like, okay, like, I just got unlucky maybe or something. And then the 6-0, you just got mad. And so you just kept going.
I'm probably not the type of person who should get into gambling. I'll just say that much.
That is very true. All right, I do have a question though. One that I was actually kind of excited to ask. What do you think like makes the best player right now? Like,
Me? Or
Both of
Kugel?
you. Both of you.
Okay, I'll let Kugel go off.
That
say
is
afterward.
actually unironically a good question. Okay, so
I've always been someone who believes that like inhuman consistency is
okay,
really
yeah,
what should
yeah.
be.
Kugel, you answer it first. Synactive just interrupts me as usual. Thanks.
Okay, fine. Answer.
Okay. Like when you say best, do you mean like best as in my favorite or like skill wise?
The best. The skill wise. They can be a terrible person. Skill wise.
Skill wise. I think somebody who's able to pioneer things and break barriers. See, there's a lot of I mean, I was even talking with Icecave about it because he had the exact same kind of thought process. He called them cookie cutter top players. And they're a lot more common recently. Just the top players who, wow, they get really good really quickly, and they beat all the top 10s in a really low amount of attempts. But none of that has ever like remotely impressed me at all. Like Space UK, Cursed. I mean, some of them I'm even like cool with and stuff, but like.
Okay, Space UK verified Slaughterhouse. That was
that was not impressive to me. Like you know what did impress me? Dill's Thick. Dill's Thick, I think, is probably the best player in the history of GD so far, and him getting 96 on AOD. And see, when AOD was beaten, I mean it was still cool, but it was nowhere near as impressive as Dill's getting 96 on AOD. Because at that time, 96 on AOD compared to like when it was beaten, there was a huge difference in like when the hardest was Tartarus. Now it's like, you know, like by the time it got beaten, so many people played the level, harder levels got beaten, you know, like the skill, like it wasn't like a jump in skill anymore. It was like it was, but it wasn't nearly as big as it used to be, right? Like when Dills did it, he was like genuinely breaking boundaries. That's why it impressed me, and
he was miles ahead of his time.
And that's I would say part of what makes the best GD player. It's just someone who's like who plays the game in an interesting way and doesn't just go through the stock route of like, you know, like beating the same insanes and the same low tier extremes and all working all the way up to like the top of the list and beating the same stuff. And it's like, okay, you know, cool, you're a list grinder that can beat levels in a low amount of attempts. There's also another 10,000 of you, and maybe you're better than like most of them even, but like even the best list grinder to me is just not like, well, first of all, not interesting to me, and also not what I would consider like the best player, unless your gauge of what the best player is the person who can beat a certain level of difficulty in the lowest number of attempts possible. But I think that's a really dumb way of gauging skill, because you can just say, oh, Cool Dash is the best player because he can beat hard demons in less attempts than everyone else, right? And it's like, okay, well, extreme demons are harder, so beating them in low attempts are even better. And like, sure, but I think beating a new top 1 by far is a lot more impressive than beating list demons in a low amount of attempts. So I just don't think, and there's this whole fixation with attempts recently, and it's become such a big
attempts aren't even provable. It's not impressive.
Yeah, a lot of people lie about attempts, and also people are so fixated with low attempt count equals skill, even though I think it's a single dimension of it. I think it's still a part of skill, right? If you can do things in a low amount of attempts, but people act like it's the holy grail of it, and skill is defined by how little attempts you can beat something, which is dumb. And also because there can be someone who beats something in less playtime like they spend less time playing the level, but it takes them more attempts because of the way that like they learn a level, right?
Yeah.
Like maybe they're just really inefficient with it. Because again, top players are tryharding so much with attempts and care so much about attempts. They have all these methods to like optimize attempts and reduce them. And even like I know people who play like practice levels in the editor just so they don't rack up attempts, right? Then you can have someone who just doesn't care, or it could even be somebody who like takes forever to learn stuff, so it takes them a shit ton of attempts, but once they learn it, they like instantly beat it because they get the consistency. So they take more attempts, but they do it in less time. There's like so much to it where like even if you thought that like the amount of time it takes you to beat something is what defines skill, even then attempt count is not like a good
It's
gauge.
not a good gauge.
Right.
Yeah, I agree.
But
I have
I
my own opinion.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Go on.
yeah,
Because so basically I think that what I consider skill is 100% all in both ceiling and consistency, as in the ability to have a very high ceiling and perform at that ceiling. I think that those are, to me, what I consider the best player. The person that that is able to do the most. Because a cookie cutter like player or whatever, they're boring, but someone like that can technically be the best player. Still, in my opinion.
The cookie cutter players, by the way, part of why I don't like them is because they don't even reach their actual potential. Because what they'll end up doing is they'll reach the top one level and then they'll just stagnate there with all the other top
not care anymore.
because
They'll be like,
and if they verify a top one, it'll be one that's like slightly harder than the current top one, or but it's like it's not gonna be like a new tier of difficulty until much later because
naturally the best player will always be the person who innovates, given just because that's just how it works.
I think that's like a product of it. I think what I'm valuing is like the ability to continue growing in skill, even if it's developing or like bringing into like a new skill set that didn't exist before. But like again,
something that I've noticed while analyzing the growth of top players is that, and I've tried to do this myself recently, is I think the reason why Space UK is partially so good, besides potentially having some natural talent, is because his skill set is basically based around learning new things and learning things more difficult than his previous thing, because he went from easy demon to hard demon to insane demon to extreme demon to top extreme demon to other top extreme demon to top one by far.
One example I've used with Space UK was if he got into the game in 2016, he would not be in a year that he beat the golden. He would probably, maybe his hardest would be like Cataclysm or Bloodbath, right? It would be Bloodbath, right? And then he would stop there because that's what he's like. Like if the current hardest was like a lot harder than Slaughterhouse, he probably would have gotten to that level of skill and then again stopped there. That's the kind of the problem with him and most of these players is like, it's like they hit a barrier once they get to the point where it's like new territory.
But let me
I think he may be forgetting that Space verified Slaughterhouse.
Yeah,
their argument stop at Tartarus.
Their argument is Slaughterhouse wasn't way above the rest of the levels during its verification.
Yeah, it wasn't.
But at the same time, here's why I think you're undervaluing, right? Because for someone like Dillstick, right, to like be ahead of their time, you can make an argument that for me during my time was maybe ahead of the time for a bit, like for a small period. The thing is when you get to that level, that's just you putting way more dedication into a level. Where Space UK was a lot more focused on completing more levels. You cannot complete more levels while dedicating to a crazy hard level that's way ahead of its time. You have to focus the time on that specific level, like Kugel. Like, you could not be doing what you're trying to do with Death Corridor if you were grinding list demons. It's one of those choices you have to make, and Space chose to grind list demons, and they are by far, is not even close, the best at it. If they sat and tried to focus on a level, I don't have a doubt that they could do it, but that's just not their focus.
It's
like,
valid for people
if what you care about is
they
grinding
level
list
like,
stuff,
considered impressive.
yeah, it is impressive. But the question was like about who you consider the best GD player,
Yeah.
or what you see
It
in
was-
the and the quality Space UK has is like only like a small portion of what I consider a good GD player. I still consider him a good GD player, obviously, but like
I
he
think it's
doesn't
valid
he doesn't
for
impress me
Google to-
personally as like an amazing, like there are players who I feel like were amazing GD. I mean, Sandstorm is another
Yeah,
example.
Sandstorm is
Uh,
very good.
Wuxi was very good, like even before he got 240 hertz. But
I
yeah,
have more to say.
Yeah, go ahead and say
But,
it. Go talk to them.
So, I think it's valid for Kugel to have his opinion because there's a reason why there's a question of like, who do you find the best GD player?
Right.
So I think it's valid. It's perfectly valid for Kugel to have his opinions because, it's like pretty much just based on what your own opinion is. And my value has always been ceiling. So I consider Space UK the best currently, but because I think that he's the player at this moment in time that seems to have the highest ceiling and highest showcase of skill throughout what he's done. That's not to say that there can't be someone that will show up who will easily become better than him because he spent so long just trying to go through the demon list, because I don't consider that a very, but like to me that's not something that I value as a skill.
Right.
But like sure, it would be very like yes, it's possible for someone to top him, but right now he's, in my opinion, definitely the best. But Kugel's allowed to have his own opinion. I believe that his opinion is interesting and has a lot of validity to it.
Yeah.
I also have a problem with people being like, "Oh, I'm gonna make this level fun," and what fun always means to them is like top 3 difficulty or easier. It's always that. So they'll be like, "Oh, I'm gonna take this top 1 level and I'm gonna make it fun," and fun always means like they without fail will nerf the level
oh my
to be
god,
exactly like top 3. It is so
that
frustrating.
is the stupid. Yeah, I don't understand people who like have this weird idea that like a level can't be fun if it's top 1.
Yeah,
And then the funny part is, like, a few years later down the line, people will be like, "Oh, why can't
This
top
is
1s
my
be like
point.
the way they were before? Now top 1s suck. They only care about difficulty." When it's like people were saying the exact same thing back in 2017, and now they're praising those same, like in the future people are gonna be like, "Why can't level top 1s be like the golden that actually cared about gameplay? Now they only care about being hard and."
But
And
here's the thing. So like pretty much people will act like in order to make a level fun, you have to nerf it to be just a little bit easier than whatever the hardest level is. And they're like, and people get so honored for like making their level fun and having the balls to nerf it below top 1 difficulty. Like, wow, people will be so frustrated, but they're all stupid because you are trying to make the level fun because your level isn't top 1. Like, when you could just wait like a month or something, or like a few months, and then the fun barrier goes up 1 level or some trash.
Yeah.
It's so dumb. Like, why can't a level just be top 1 and fun? Because fun has nothing to do with difficulty, and it should be obvious by now.
Yeah, it's how you make the level.
But yeah, I think that's pretty funny and frustrating because it's so common.
And the other question I had actually, I think, yeah, I just want to say, I do think Kugel has a valid opinion of heavily emphasizing people who push it, because to be honest, those are the people that push the next difficulty tier. They're the ones that get, the levels there, like, the riots, I guess Trusted did it for a bit, but not as much, honestly.
I mean, Riot, I wouldn't put in that category because it was with Riot. It was like because he was the only 144 hertz player.
But the thing is, yes, I agree that was the reason that he was able to do it. But at the same time, it pushed the meta. It did push the meta.
It did, right? I know what you mean. Yeah, but it's like
I mean,
It's
he
yeah,
was first to have the monitor, but that was a completely different time. That was a totally different time.
but I like okay.
Sandstorm was the best player from that era, but
Yeah,
Riot did push the meta more.
I agree. Like, yeah, you can classify him as like a pioneer, but not because of his skill, right? So like when I was saying that, I meant like
Yeah, when Kugel means pushing
regards to
difficulty,
skill.
he means raw skill. He means raw
Yeah.
skill.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, that makes sense.
Never is based on appearance. Otherwise, you would think that 60 hertz was weak.
We don't really know what a level that's too hard for Space UK to beat. I don't know. Have they dropped levels?
Dynamic skill range.
Have they dropped levels? I actually don't know anything about them on that front.
I don't know.
Because you haven't dropped a level either. That's not bad. That means you did everything you tried to do.
I've never dropped a level.
That is true. You have never dropped a level. Possibly the most stubborn person in the history of this game. It went past the point of being like like, oh wow, good job, Kugel. It's now just kind of like sad. It's just, please please verify some version of it, please. Maybe if you end up verifying your crazy hard version, I'll eat my words and say it was worth it. Okay, I will say that. But until that point happens, I'll make fun of you. So the other question I had that was
I won't eat
that,
words because that's physically impossible.
I hate you. Because like the thing is, what do you think? Who do you think is like the best of all time in GD? Not necessarily skill wise, but we're now including in their era.
Dill's thick. Maybe Mifiwi.
I think Mfiwi is a really interesting one.
Yeah. I actually...
They were a one-level wonder as well, but...
Red Universe?
Red Universe...
No.
Was
I don't
good.
Red
I mean, Red Universe, I think it was pretty decent, but he wasn't like near like a top.
Very, very good.
He was really good, but
actually verified.
Sandstorm was better than Red
Actually
Universe.
verified Crimson Clutter, which is still top 1 to this day. So yeah, he's the best player.
Yeah, that's true.
And he did it on 60 as well. So
well, who are the main contenders? Like, you could make an argument for Riot, but it was heavily monitor based. But
what about what is it called? That one player who beat every level except Demon World.
Sunix was really good.
Sunix was really good.
No, like he literally had every level beat on the servers that was rated except for Demon World, and he was top 1.
I mean,
that was such an old era that I'm not sure you can really.
Yeah, like none of them were even like.
I'm kind of counting 1.9 plus. I think anything before 1.9 was just too soon. The meta hasn't really happened yet. Cataclysm was like the first level to super push it. ICDX was just kind of hacked garbage at the time. No one really cared about it until later. But yeah. I think like 1.9 plus is where it should count. I think Riot has a really good...
While?
What?
How far did Riot make it on 60 hertz?
I think
Bloodbath was 144 hertz, and that was 1.9.
He ICDX and Kata were also 144.
Yeah, and so was Poltergeist.
Was Deadly Clubstep on 60?
No, that was 60.
Oh.
That was 60. I don't know. I think you can make an argument for that. I don't think they can hold the title for like the greatest at this point. It's been too long. I do think though they were one of the first to like really push GD. Him and Cyclic. One was a hacker and the other was using a monitor. But I think they were the first to push. Sandstorm was, I think, the best player from that era. But I don't know if Sandstorm super pushed the meta because there was no knowledge about the monitors. Now that we know the knowledge, yeah, in hindsight, Sandstorm was probably the best player.
I actually thought he was the best player because he had more consistency in achievements than Riot. Riot just had Bloodbath, and like Sandstorm had more achievements that were done fast.
But Riot, I don't know, but he also did like a Bizarre Phantasm when it was like number 2 and stuff. Like he still was pretty active.
And he got 96 on Sonic Wave.
Did he ever? I think he came back and beat it, right?
Yeah,
that was way later.
Back then,
right.
I know, but back then.
I think it's kind of cool.
Right, beat Sonic Wave on 360 though. When he got 96, it was on 144.
Yeah, But like,
I
he
don't
got
think that
Sonic
his
Wave a
96
bit
was
later.
anything interesting back when he did it.
Yeah, 96. He got 96 on Sonic Wave
96
after
was like-
Sonic's already beat it.
It was not after Sonic's already
no,
beat
no.
it. It was after like multiple people beat it, if I'm not mistaken. He had like
No.
70 something.
No, actually, no.
No.
Didn't he die at 96?
Riot
in the
did it
verification race?
before Methaway, I think, and then Methaway died at 98, and then Sonics beat it. The funny thing was,
Maybe
Sonics was
beat
going
that.
to be.
No,
Then he
maybe we
first
beat that,
rolled
or
it
did
off.
this 98 run
Yeah,
a
Mifiwi's
really
98.
long time ago?
Mifiwi's 98 was early.
Like,
Riot got
way before
96 in the
Sonic.
race with Sonics, I think, is what happened.
Yeah, way before
Sonic said
Sonic.
he'd let Riot beat it first, and then Sonics beat it.
Yeah, Sonic said he would let Riot beat it first,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
just beat it.
That's what happened, but
Like, don't worry, Riot. I'll let you beat it first. Okay, we're go.
I think it was, I don't know. I think just because Riot had the monitor, I shouldn't take away, because he was one of the best players for quite a while, even when people with the monitor started catching up.
He beat every single 9 circles level except for Head Rush.
Yeah, I think there is a lot that Riot
Yeah.
did. It's just, you know.
He beat Head Rush.
Like later though, he beat Head Rush.
Yeah, he beat Head Rush.
But he had claimed to beat every 9 circles level, but he didn't beat Head Rush.
Damn.
Well, he had still beaten every 9 circles level after he beat Head Rush.
No, because more 9 circles levels came out, and then
That's
he
not
never
true.
caught up.
That's just not true, because he hadn't, because Head Rush, no, he had beaten Head Rush when it, because he had beaten all 9 circles when Rob's up, but the seal of not rating 9 circles.
Yeah. Alright, I think I'm going to start ending this. It's getting long, and also we're all dead tired because it's 2 a.m.
Yeah.
It's 2
I, on
a.m.
the
Okay.
other hand, have had 2 cups of coffee.
any
so
more-
It's
you're
almost
and have
3
a
a.m.
long day.
for me.
There are too many questions to finish. If you want, I will go
Okay,
through the
Do the lightning round.
The lightning
Lightning
round of
round.
the questions I didn't do
Yeah.
yet. Alright,
Do
you
that.
ready? KugelBlitz, favorite animal.
Well, I have to actually like think about that. Like overall or like as like
general.
a pet.
In general, overall.
Oh, I don't fucking know, man. I don't really have like a choice for that. I mean, I guess I like
First-
cats. I don't know.
Cat's cool. What is your favorite color? I wonder why I skipped these questions so far.
Okay. Probably like turquoise. Yeah.
Turquoise.
Yeah.
Alright, and then what is your final goal in GD?
Beat Death Corridor.
That's what I figured.
Yeah, I mean, like, if I beat Death Corridor at that, I probably won't like quit like the moment I beat Death Corridor. Maybe I will, but once I beat it, like, I don't really have anything. You know, I might do some other stuff, but I don't really have any like ambitions, I guess.
That makes
I
sense.
have a much more insane answer for that one.
You'll
If
get
only
it.
you switched it.
Hey, you'll
Okay,
get it,
yeah,
don't
well-
worry. Synactive, what is your favorite Yu-Gi-Oh card and why?
Ooh. Okay,
Please make it
well,
30 seconds.
Recently? Okay, fine. Let me think. How do I shorten? I'm going to choose Neck Knight Crusadia Avramax because it's really good at mixing control and offense.
Fair enough. Yeah, there's a reason why I skipped that one too. What is your final accomplishment in GD?
But I like Danger Jackalope too. Okay, my favorite. Wait, what'd you say?
What is your like final accomplishment in GD? Like, what's your final goal?
My final goal in Geometry Dash?
Yeah.
Alright, so I got a really insane answer for this. So, basically, I had this weird idea to try to make a level that, like, perfectly encompassed what I believed would be my own skill cap. And I want to try to make it a reality. And I
Good
wanted
luck.
to have collaboration between people who have been in my like friends with me in GD and stuff like that. I think that'd be really cool.
That's kind of cool. Yeah, that's cute.
And I had like this really insane idea for it, and it would be ludicrous and kind of long, but good.
All right. All right. The next questions. Let's just get through these as well. If I had $25 and lost $5, how many dollars do I have left?
$10.
funny.
Man, you stupid. And Hyperbola, cool. You're smart. I was going off the deep end on these. What demon are you most proud of completing? Like, most proud of that you actually completed?
Inscape. You know why.
Oh my gosh, I totally forgot that level existed.
Wait, is that question for everyone?
Yeah, it's for everyone.
For me,
Inscape was a
probably
nightmare.
Artificial Ascent on 60.
That's really fair, honestly. I think that's your best accomplishment too right now.
Yeah. I mean, before that, I would have said El Dorado, but yeah, no, that's...
It's that level. Good job, Synactive. Good job fixing whatever trash that is. Honestly, if you need a bug fixer, hire Synactive. He's done work on Enuresis. He fixed Inscape. I think that's enough on a resume. He fixed Inscape. That thing was the worst buggy mess I have ever seen.
And now people beat it for the first insane demon, and I'm happy about that.
It was... Pause asked me to verify it at first, and I said no. I played it and said no. That's how bad it was. And I was down to verify anything. Like, I was actually like in the middle of innards. I was down to verify anything, and then I saw that shit, and I was just no.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. I jumped on it, though. I was happy to see a bizarre bug-fixing challenge.
What about you, Hyperbola?
People don't think I can playtest anymore.
Sonic Wave.
Like nobody asked me to.
I think I already said it really early, but for sure Sonic Wave.
Yeah.
It was the most unlucky, most god-awful experience I've ever had.
Alright.
And when I was going for it, I thought I'd beat it before school started, and then I'd spend days for like multiple hours, like an unhealthy amount of hours, playing and dying at the last wave or late in the level. And I eventually just had to stop because it was taking a toll on my mental health. It was so bad. Then I had to come back to it 5 times, and I beat it out of nowhere in October of 2021. It was so bad. My worst experience in GD. Not my unluckiest anymore, but my worst by far.
I think my worst experience in GD is easy the 12 hours in her stream, where I played from like 0 for probably a good 6 hours of that. Oh, that.
My most fun I've ever
disgusting.
had in GD might be like streaming. Honestly, I had a lot of fun doing that a long time. 2.0 when the community didn't suck.
You streaming is why we're friends.
There was also just like YouTube back then was so fun to do. Everything was fun in 2.0.
I just find it so funny that you streaming is why we're friends because you sent me a message that was nice and I just vaguely remembered your name but didn't know why.
Oh yeah, on the first interaction me and Cinci had is when he was watching me play Zafkiel, and he was famous at the time for being, I think, really.
He was famous at the time.
He's always
for
for
innards.
Kill me.
For innards.
podcast.
Like he was in the public spotlight for innards and for.
And he was famous.
He was famous at the time, but he's not famous anymore.
Like he's famous still, I get it.
I think he's
but,
famous.
Like, he was like in the
He's
public
so
spotlight.
famous.
No, they're
Because
making
of
fun of
his-
you calling me famous, not was.
He's famous.
Like,
But
he
anyway,
was
keep talking, Hyper.
And then I got a FAR attempt, like I got like 47 or something, and he's like, "Dang!" And since he was at the stream, I'm like, "Oh my gosh, it's actually Cinci." So I gave him moderator,
Oh, is
and
that
he's still a moderator on my Twitch channel
Oh, hell yeah.
because
think
VIP didn't exist back then,
Yeah.
and that's what you did to give someone VIP. You just made them mod.
Yeah, that's kind of what I did. There are some people I had to remove mod from because they were kind of just like my first viewer, I had to remove mod from them because they were just a bad mod. It's they were just a bad mod. There's nothing else about it. I had to remove it. I felt bad.
Do you know that website where it like ranks all the famous people? So it's like, oh, this dude is the 34th most like well-known person
Yeah.
on the planet. Yeah, Cinci would be number 1, I
I mean,
think.
Donald Trump tweeted about me, so you know.
Cinci would be number 1 on the stats viewer of that.
His wife likes my products.
What? Wait, what? What are you
Yeah.
telling me?
Jesus, this is Cinci's product.
Since he's kinkies, he loved them. He tweeted about them. They're so cool.
What?
Xander was taking like the Twitter thing, the Donald Trump Twitter template, and just typing random shit about how famous I was, and like Donald Trump talking about how famous I was in my old server, and then randomly it just an ad about Cincy's kinkies and how Millennial loves them. Just tweets about that with the Donald Trump like filter, so it adds like the Donald Trump stuff at the end of it, right? So it'd be like sad or very good.
I'm pretty sure there was no like filter thing. We just kind of typed it using inspect element.
Was there? I thought Xander told me he just used a filter. Maybe not.
I used inspect element on one of them.
You might have used inspect element on one of them then. Regardless, yeah, that was just like a meme going around, and it all started because Jayzek the King called me famous.
All right, sine over cosine. Maybe we should move to the next question.
Yeah, I'm so tired. What games do you enjoy outside of GD, and why do you suck so bad at CS, Kugel?
I suck at CS.
Why?
He's so
I
desperate.
literally did better than you the
I
time
suck
we played.
horrendous.
Oh, okay. So I just, yeah, I suck, but
I don't
not,
play.
not as much as you.
I don't play,
Me
so...
Well,
So
the reason
desperate
I
that
suck
you
is
made
because
that
when you
monster.
played with me, I had like 5 hours of experience in the game. So yeah, like I also had just started playing the game.
What
So
game? Yeah.
I mean, I played it more now and I've probably improved a bit, but I still I don't have much experience with the game, and I somehow got Gold Nova Master in like a few weeks. I don't know.
Yeah, the ranks are like way inflated right now.
Yeah, I don't know. I definitely don't think I should be.
Pause
Based-
LEM, like there's no shot.
Nibia's global elite, or was.
What other games do you play? I actually don't know this. We have to play Yu-Gi-Oh at some point.
I mean, yeah, if we're talking about recently, pretty much GD, Counter-Strike, and kind of stopped, but I was also, like, Synactive got me into the Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel game. So yeah, those three,
We got
like,
Master
currently
Duel.
are the main ones
I
I
know
would say.
Synactive hasn't been playing any games recently. What about, except Yu-Gi-Oh? What about you, Hyperful?
I haven't even been playing that much Yu-Gi-Oh.
I
Yeah.
very rarely play fan games.
that's fair.
Oh, yeah. I've also been playing fan games. That's another one.
And let's see, I've been into Mario Kart this summer. Like I purchased Mario Kart 8 Deluxe again because I had lost the cartridge and downloaded the DLC, and grinded for like a solid week until I had completed everything in Grand Prix, including the DLC. So I have all the parts and characters now for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and I also recompleted Mario Kart Wii over the summer. And I'm able to do some ultra shortcuts like the pipe jump, so that's cool.
That's
Maybe I'll
That's-
get Wii 3 one day. And then recently I've been playing Mario and Luigi, Bowser's Inside Story, and Superstar Saga, and those are both really good games. And now I'm just finishing the 3DS side quests, Bowser's Minions and Bowser Jr.'s Journey.
I think we have to really get closer to finishing.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Literally,
Yeah, I
we
know.
have 2 more questions. How do you think 2.2 will turn out? Do you think you'll still play?
I'll
I think
probably
we-
still play it, but
I have some ideas.
I'm not excited for it that much. I mean, I think the start, like new
I go
levels.
on the record and say it's gonna be good.
I think new levels at first are gonna be a disaster, but maybe it'll have potential for something cool.
I think the game
I-
loses
I-
its charm. I hope 2.1 styled levels with like 2.2 deco still get like. I hope they still get
Yeah,
the
me
attention they
too.
deserve.
Yeah, and I don't know. Platformer mode is actually something I am somewhat interested in.
That's fair.
Surprisingly.
I think it's kind of cool. I like platformer mode.
Me and Icecave are going to try to contact the popular Mario Maker creator Stevo, who used to play GD, when 2.2 comes out, and maybe the three of us
Dewberry will be the top player of
Platformer mode, yeah.
Yeah.
Dewberry
Dude,
will be
he's like
and Master
Dewberry
Max
so quickly. Dewberry became like literally the best needle player. Like he did the hardest needle achievement by far out of nowhere. Like he's actually insane. Like I don't even know how GD translated so well into fan games for him. He was just so good at it. But yeah, what's it called?
Yeah, so honestly, I think the top platformer
My brain
players
is like
will be,
fried
Master
right now.
Friday. We would hit this way too late.
Dude, I feel like I sound more high than Cinci, and I'm not even high.
Don't worry, the final question isn't a real question. It was kind of I accidentally typed it again and was just like, you know what? It's the final one, we're done. So, I kind of just left it there because, like, I deserve it after that many types of random shit.
What was it?
The final question is coolest penis? Question mark.
Oh my god.
KugelBlitZ.
KugelBlitZ, are we all in agreement? Is this coolest?
Yeah.
Well, no, Synactive's the cool guy, though. Like, everything's got to be cool.
Well, my penis
I
is
mean,
pretty cool.
does your penis even wear sunglasses? I didn't think so.
It actually is like a top hat with sunglasses.
Yeah, it has a top hat with sunglasses.
This is a
and then,
really
like, a
weird
monocle.
topic, you know? Like, maybe we should just move
Look,
on.
so for context, when I was writing these, my brain was beyond fried. I just kept typing in penis with random fucking questions
Yeah,
and then erase it because my
there's one you
The
wrote
sunglass
that
monocle.
didn't show up that you sent a screenshot of was number 8. Whose giant penis? Like, what does that even mean?
turned off.
Number
it
8.
just-
Who's giant penis?
Whenever my brain turned off, I would just randomly default to that, like random, and it wouldn't be the same thing every time. It would
This
be
is what I
like.
mean, like you're turning into Synactive.
It was like, I think one time there was like super penis in there. It was like, dude, stop. Dude, what is your issue?
Super
and
penis?
so,
You people are like 12 years old. You're just laughing at the
know.
word penis.
and so when I was like writing the questions and the final
favorite
question,
show
I
is
did it
South.
again. I'm like, I'm done here. This is it. This is what it is.
Okay, well, I
But
mean,
anyway, that is the end of the episode. We're going to cut this down because we're so fucking tired. I think
Yeah,
this went for an
yeah.
hour 50.
yeah, I'm going to like pass out now.
We all
So
are. We did this too late.
I'm going to the mall at 3:30.
bye
2
bye.
a.m. Bye.
See ya.